Hey there, it's me again. Today we're going to talk about a photo shoot that I did a few months back and why did I do it in the first place. Let's get to it. Welcome back to another video. So I want to work for fashion companies doing videos and photos for them. However, I live in a place that's not the best, doesn't have the most bustling fashion scene or fashion industry over here, and I did not go to fashion school, nor did I come from a fashion background. So what do I do? How do I figure out? How do I get to my destination of working with fashion companies? Well, here is how I came up with a plan, and I guess the story of how I came up with the plan to try and get into fashion. So first off, let's start with graduation. Graduation was about not long ago, right after I graduated. It's not really during the best times. The job market wasn't that great, but it is what it is. I couldn't really change the world situation, and I wasn't really sure if I wanted to go into fashion. I was just thinking of getting a good job, like every other university graduate would think of. I wanted to get into, I graduated in information design, so bachelor's of communication, so I was like, okay, so I guess I would try for SAP, IBM, and my portfolio was more geared towards UX, UI, and I guess branding and more graphic design, illustration type work. However, my interest didn't lie there. My interest and my love obviously lied more within photography and videography, well, cinematography essentially, making videos, creating photos, aesthetic photos that I love looking at since I was young. And like when I say young, I mean a kid. That's where my passion lied, and so began to spiral downwards. So I was applying all around, didn't get anything. It was COVID, and well, it was like not COVID but COVID. It's like the in-between, and yeah, it was just chaotic. Couldn't get anything. Worked 2 part-time jobs. I worked at retail for a while to try and get an idea of what being in fashion would be like. Yeah, it kind of stalemated at that. Didn't really know what was going on, why I scored a good GPA, and I just wasn't sure why, nothing was working, applications were getting rejected, no interviews were turning up, but I had to do what I had to do, so I just did like what any other person would do. I got 2 jobs, part-time jobs, and I just did the best I could to survive. And then came the pivoting point, the very point of my life which changed everything. And this part of my life was essentially the most important part to where we are today, which is not any better, but it's definitely better than where it was. And I met my 2 mentors, and one of them kind of asked me, what is it I do, what is it I love, what is it I like? And I told them I really love doing like photography, cinematography, and just creating really nice videos and photos that had like messages that I wanted to share with the masses, or just anybody who likes my art that I create. And honestly, most of it was recreate. The joy I find in it is all the photos and videos kind of emulated and kind of reflected the emotions and kind of like my life story almost. Because growing up I used Tumblr a lot, and there was a lot of images and that kind of like reflected my mood and just how I was feeling at that point in time of my life. And I, being able to create those visual imagery, be it in video format or photo format, was always an amazing and really fun process to me, and I enjoyed it thoroughly. So that's what I told him. My 2 mentors, told both of them, that's what I love to do. And as simple as it sounds, and as silly as it may be, or stupid, however you want to view it, obviously the next point was a pretty fucking obvious point. However, obviously I didn't really think much about it, and I was like, oh, you right. But basically, my mentors were like, hey, does anybody know what you do? Do you show the world what you do? Do you upload often? Do you do all this? And I was like, not really. I create a lot. I take a lot of like imagery and everything, send it to people and all, but I never really showed the world and be like, I am a videographer, cinematographer, and director. Like, I can direct my own shots, I can direct my own, you know, videos, or be it like long form, short film videos, or whatever it is that I create. I can direct those, and I'll storyboard and I'll do all this. Yeah, I just never really showed anybody because for the longest time I just worked under other people and I just did it for them. Never really took credit because, you know, just never thought I was good enough. And my mentors basically said, hey, well, how's anybody supposed to hire you if they don't even know what you do? Or they don't even know what you can do, you know? You can say you do these things, but if you don't show them, how are they supposed to know? Yeah, that was a very big pivoting point. I guess the crux of it was just believe in yourself and go out there and show the world what you got, right? It's very simple advice, but yeah, for some reason, for the longest time, it didn't get through my head to do that. So yes, believe in yourself, never doubt yourself, and just keep going at it. You put in the hard work. If you suck and you get beaten down, it's okay. Just keep going and going, and you improve eventually. Just gotta be a good sport about, you know, getting feedback, criticisms, and everything for sure.
大丈夫でしょ。だって君弱いもん。
So yeah, ever since then, I guess I really dug deep for, I guess it's about a year and a half now, almost a year and 1/4 since then. And yeah, I realized I really wanted to do fashion. I really wanted to do photos that showed off people's outfits, clothings, fashion, and music in general. And if I could find a way to combine fashion, music, and dance together, which is 3 things I love the most, that'd be great. Obviously I wanted to work in the fashion industry as a creative director or art director, but you know, you can shoot for the stars, but you can't just go straight to it. You gotta slowly get there. So how do we get there? What do we do? What's the game plan from now? So at this point, I have a portfolio, I have a degree, I have a resume, I have certain experience in different industries, but it ain't the right one. It ain't showing anything. Or well, anybody who looked at it, it's like, well, can you do fashion? You can take photos and everything, but do you understand what is needed to do fashion shoots or whatsoever? You know, do you understand in any way if I were to tell you, hey, could you advertise our brand? Could you make a marketing campaign for our brand? You know what to do. I didn't have that. So what do we do from here? Well, this is what I theorize and what I did, and I'm not sure if it works, but you know, what do we gotta lose? Just gotta keep trying. So what do I have to do? Well, this is where a good friend named Ted comes in. So Ted's an art director that I know from, he used to live in where I lived and has now moved to the US of A. He's doing really well. He's an art director for an advertising agency, and yeah, he looked at my portfolio and was like, well, Arthur, looking at your portfolio, I don't know what the fuck you do. In so many words. So I had to, he was like, well, you gotta make a portfolio that shows that you know how to do these shoots that are more geared towards like clothing or products in general, and you know, just the understanding of like, you know, how to use models and everything to show off the clothings and stuff. So that's what I did. I changed my whole, I ripped everything, my old portfolio, just took it down, created a new site, created a new layout, and just had, but you know, when I took everything I had previously, which was for like hospitals, which was for like, you know, tech companies, oil and gas, which is all good and fine, it's nothing to do with fashion, nothing to do with my skills, nothing to do with showcasing my thought process with making, you know, fashion related projects. So what do? Well, I had to start from scratch. So that's how I came up with these photo shoots, these 3 specific projects, huge projects. Alright, and that is all for today's video. In the next video, we'll be talking about the 3 projects that I came up with and go in depth and show you the results of these 3 projects and how the process of how I made them in the next video. And yeah, that is all for now. If you like this video, don't forget to drop a like, comment and subscribe if you want to see more of these kind of videos. And yeah, that is all. Thank you so much for watching. Until the next one. Goodbye.
How do you build so fast?
I've been feeling like I gotta